Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the 1847 show, and I'm your host, Prince Larmin Jarbo. On today's segment, we have Making Money Moves, returning with the second lesson in Series 3. Specifically, today we're going to be talking about setting SMART goals. But what does that look like regarding the New Year's resolution that we all aspire to accomplish? So, our topic again is setting SMART goals for our New Year's resolution. So we have a lot of good stuff to talk about. So stay tuned. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back.
Bosco baby, B to the O, S to the C O, straight out of China. I represent LIB. The song playing in the background is my latest single called Like It or Not. You can find me on social, especially YouTube at Bosco_LIB, and also on Instagram at Bosco_LIB, and also on Facebook at Bus Music. Right now, you're watching the 1847 show. You know it's about you and me and all things Liberian. So follow the 1847 show on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, and also on formerly Twitter and now X. So let's go, 2024. See
Hello, my name is Grace Choma Baba, founder of Destiny Creative Organization and owner at Janice's Snacks. You are watching the 1847 show. The 1847 show celebrates you, me, and all things like you. Follow the 1847 show on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. The 1847 show, all things like you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the 1847 show, and I'm your host, Prince Larmin Jarbo. This segment specifically, though, is our Making Money Moves series, where we try to teach people practical making money moves, right? Practical ways that they can make money moves. And that includes different lessons of different financial topics. And today, specifically, we're going to be talking about how do you set SMART goals regarding your New Year's resolution. And because this is about making money moves, how about those resolutions that are finance driven, right? Like you wanting to improve your finance. So given that, the first question that I have for you all is, why do New Year's resolutions fail for the most part? Why do most people by the second or third month are unable to continue their New Year's resolution? Take a second and think about that. Well, the main reason that New Year's resolutions fail is because they're not actionable, right? They're not smart enough. And that SMART is an acronym that we're going to talk about. So if you set a goal or a resolution, which we'll take a step back and talk about what a resolution is, right? If you set that, it needs to meet certain criteria to motivate you enough to want to do it. And most resolutions fail because they don't meet those criteria. So that's what we mean by they're not actionable. So, what are those criteria? But first, let's talk about resolutions. What is a resolution? What is a New Year's resolution? Well, a resolution It's just a decision. And that decision can be to do something or not to do something, right? So when I say, or when people say a New Year's resolution, it is just a New Year's decision. And multiple times or many times it's a list of things that they have decided to do or to start doing or to stop doing. So a New Year's resolution is just your decision to do things or not do things. And in turn, those are technically your goals. You aim to accomplish those things throughout the year. So most people fail because when they set those goals, they make very broad statements, and those statements aren't actionable. So we're going to learn today how you can turn your desires, your resolutions into actionable goals that you can actually be more motivated to accomplish. Again, an emphasis here is using the framework called SMART, which is an acronym, right? So what are SMART goals? Well, the acronym stands for, the S stands for specific. So when your goal is specific, it is clear and is defined. We're going to give you specific examples of what that looks like. So let's say, for example, someone at the beginning of the year sets this very broad goal. I want to save money this year. Well, that's good. Saving money is good, but it's still broad. It's unactionable, right? So the question becomes, how much do you want to save? But what time do you want to save? So on and so forth. So then that's when the SMART acronym comes in. It helps you make that goal specific, which is what the S is for. So when the goal is specific, it is clear and is defined. So for example, given the broad statement that was made earlier, a specific goal will tell you, hey, I want to save 5,000 per month for emergencies. So it's not just telling you I want to save money, it's telling you how much money and for what. So it's very specific. Because if you're not specific and you try to do that, well, you might be able to do it for 1 month or 2 months. But by the third month, because you don't have any specific reason, you might not be as motivated. So attaching some specific uh, specific to it is going to help you accomplish that goal. So don't just set broad goals, be specific. So SMART, S, we've covered that, means specific. M, the M stands for measurable. Now, is your goal quantifiable? Can you measure how well your progress is? How much progress you're making? So again, if you set the goal to save $5,000 per month for emergencies, it's specific, but is it quantifiable? How are you going to be able to measure this, right? And one way you could say that you can measure this is by using a notebook. Every time that I save, I'm going to write down how much I save, and then I'm going to keep track of that. So that's quantifying it. You can quantify how far you've gone. So from S is M, the next one is A, achievable. So when a goal is achievable, it's realistic and it's within your reach. So a lot of the goals that people don't accomplish is because they're unrealistic. So you don't want to set an unrealistic goal. An unrealistic goal is a goal that is not within your reach. And for that goal, it's like you're trying to pretty much accomplish your life dreams within a very short time, a very limited resources, or just not accounting for a lot of other things. So set goals that are achievable, that are within your reach. For example, with the same format that we've been going with, if you want to save $5,000 per month, you have to make sure it is about 20%, at least 20% of your income. We talked about in our previous series on how to allocate your income. We said 50% are going to go on your essentials, which are your needs, and then 30% on your wants or your non-essentials, and then 20% we recommended to save. So if you're following those principles, then this goal of saving $5,000 per month for emergencies is achievable. Let's say you, assuming that you make about 25,000 Liberian dollars per month. So then you can do that. 25,000, 20% of 25,000 is 5,000. So then that goal is achievable because you have put in the necessary measures through your income to be able to do that. So the next one from achievable is relevant. Does your goal align with your other priorities? Again, another reason that people do not accomplish the New Year's resolution is because they don't really take the time to see if their goals are relevant. You're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. Does it fall in line with everything else that you have to do that isn't optional? For example, if you want to save $5,000, well, are you owing people money? If you owe people money, maybe this is not the best time to save. Maybe your first goal should be paying off your debt. So you have to look at your situation holistically and not just really come up with what you desire, what you would like to do. This is nice. But in order to be the most effective, you have to also consider everything else that is going on. And what that looks like is beyond just focusing on one thing. You got to look at your finances, look at your time, look at your resources, look at other people that might influence that, like your spouse. So you have to consider all those things. It has to be relevant, meaning that this is something that is needed to complement your other priorities. So S, specific; M, measurable; A, achievable; R, relevant. What is the T? The T is time bound. Time bound. Does your goal have a deadline? You can set a goal all you want, but if you do not put a deadline to it, which I think is the most important thing, is you're not going to be able to really get motivated to get up and get excited because hey, it's the time is up or the time is coming. So what you need to do is when you set goals is put a time frame to them. For example, with our goal of saving $5,000 per month for emergencies, a time bond can be by the end of the year, or you can say within the year I want to save $60,000. So $60,000, that's your ultimate objective. Now you want to break that down into pieces. So that's going to be about $5,000 a month. But the time has been added, which is 12 months, the year that you have to complete that goal. So you know how to track yourself. You know how you need to break it down into little pieces to accomplish that. But if you just say, I want to save money, well, you don't know if it's for just this month, for this year. So then you're not going to be motivated to meet that goal because there's nothing to hold you accountable to measure how well you're progressing. So you got to keep that in mind. Your goals need to be time bound as well, which is what the T stands for. Now, how can you ensure that you are successful at this? What discipline can you put into place to help you accomplish this? Well, one of the first things you want to do is when you're accomplishing your goals is to set your goals by writing them down. Write your goals down. This allows you to really deeply think about what it is that you want to do. Because when you write, you got to think. And as you're thinking, you're like, maybe this is not exactly how I should accomplish this. Or maybe this is not exactly how I want to accomplish this. So then you're deeply thinking about what you want to consider your goals. So write down your goals. And as I mentioned before, the next thing you want to remember is to break your goals down into consumable pieces, the smaller pieces. There's a saying that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? You don't eat the whole elephant. So if your goal is to save $60,000, well, you're not going to save that on a $25,000 income by saving it in 1 month, right? Or doing that at one time. You're going to have to break it down into smaller pieces. So, given your time that you've set, you divide that into smaller pieces to make, you know, that look more achievable and also help motivate you. Because if you know you don't have to focus on the 60,000, it's just the 5,000, you might be more motivated. Remember, to accomplish a goal, you need motivation, a lot of it. So break your goals down into smaller pieces. Stay accountable is the next one. Stay accountable to yourself. Whatever discipline, whatever thing you set, do it. Do it. But another way you can stay accountable is by telling other people, people that care about those goals that you've set for yourself, your parents, your significant other, maybe your kids, or sometimes even your friends. But be careful who you speak to. But definitely, other people can help us accomplish our goals. If they love us, if they care about us, share your goals with them because they can hold you accountable. They can say, hey, you said you wanted to save $60,000 by the end of the year. It's it's March now. How much have you saved? And if you say $0, they might look at you and go, why? What are you doing? You said you're going to do this. You need to do this. And then you might be more motivated. Again, motivation is what's going to, that's what you need. It's what's going to keep you going. So hold yourself accountable by being disciplined first and then telling other people so they can also hold you accountable. The more eyes, the better. But you don't want too many eyes. You don't want too many cooks in the kitchen. So don't tell your business to everybody. So that's one. The last one here is to review your progress as you go. So review your progress. So if you want to save every month, maybe you can review your progress every month. Whatever you write down, go back and say, hey, how far am I going? And the reason you want to do that is because the closer you get to your goal, the more excited, the more motivated you're going to be. So then you might be able to accomplish it faster because you're very excited and you can do extra things like get another side job to give you more money or stop spending too much on your non-essentials to save more. And then you can accomplish that goal faster. So check on the progress that you're making. That's why you want to write it down every time you make progress. Again, that's going to keep you motivated. So those are some of the things that you need to do in order to really ensure that your goals are not just smart, but that you're actually able to accomplish them. Because what's the purpose of trying to be better versions of ourselves and for our country if we're not setting goals that are smart, goals that are specific, goals that are measurable, goals that are achievable, goals that are relevant, and goals that are time bound? So the takeaway for you today is if you have a New Year's resolution, is to take those resolutions and see how you can make them align with the SMART goals criteria. If you need to be reminded about what any of those criteria is, you can pause the video, go back, watch it again. But specifically, set some goals that are about your finances, your savings, for emergencies specifically. Because life is going to throw stones at us. Life, no one promised you in life. In fact, the Bible told us, or whatever you believe in, I'm sure it tells you that life is uncertain. So if you already know that, why are you not preparing yourself for those uncertainties by saving for emergencies? Especially the fact that you've just been given a new year, a year that you can start fresh. So save, come up with your New Year's resolution and make sure that one of them is at least about saving for emergencies. And the homework for you is to go and write down those goals and try to find people to help you accomplish them, holding you accountable. If you have a goal that you would like us to review and see if it's smart enough, you can send that to us in our inbox or email. We would love to hear those. But it has been a pleasure going over these lessons with you guys. And thank you for taking the time to hear about our newest topic, setting SMART goals for your New Year's resolution. I've been your host And this is the 1847 show. Again, Happy New Year's to all of our viewers. Until next time, take care. God bless you, and God bless our beautiful Mama Liberia.